For starting, so it's declare this meeting of the board of the Netarts-Oceanside Sanitary District open. And the first order of business is to approve the agenda. The agenda that you had here today includes an item that you may or may not have seen, is not on when you had online. We're going to add the new business. There's a number of resolutions today. So when we get to that, there's one more than on the one that you might have printed online. With that, I will entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
I move that we approve the agenda.
I'll second that.
Okay, moving seconded, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, passes. Move on to guests. There are no guests. Public comments, there are no public. For questions and comments. We'll move on to review the minutes of September 18th. Before I take a motion, I'll just alert you that again, the copy that's here has my signature rather than John's, because John's not here, but we're online, it'll show John's signature as it normally does, but otherwise, substantively, it's the same. So with that, I will entertain motion to approve the minutes of September 18th.
I move that we approve the minutes of September 18th.
Second.
Seconded, all in favor, say aye.
We're going to discuss it.
Oh, you can discuss it if you want. How many times have we done this? My second time ever.
We were both here, right?
I did not see anything in the minutes that I wanted to put.
Okay. I'm glad you wrote this to tell us that. I'll give a minute to look over and see if there's anything that you see. I didn't see anything when I looked over. No, fine. Okay. Now, I've had it in a second, so all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, which passes. We'll move on to review of the board audit and accounts payable. Is there anything we'd like to call to our attention?
We're on financial, so.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you. I skipped one. Oh, and there's a board action, so, okay. I'll go ahead and take the motion and get it past you for comments. Get a motion to approve the financial statement of September 30th.
I move that we approve the financial statements.
For a second.
Second.
Okay, now we'll move on to discussion. And call to our attention.
Just on page 8, you'll see the negative until we start putting the money in, right? So our fund will carry the.
And that happens in November. Tax money comes in November.
So, on page 5, under disbursements, major emergency repairs, I noticed that we're already 34.42% of the way through that budget. Is that anything we should be concerned about?
So we're almost halfway through the fiscal year. And close when we're over.
We got reached first.
Yeah, so we did.
So that's the pump that blew up?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
yes. That's the $155,000 pump.
Yeah. Okay.
They have to adjust their account to
Yeah.
reflect it.
Which is little, we actually deposited that money in there, so it was actually voided.
Yeah.
So now it's.
Okay.
But we had to account for it. No.
Yeah. Okay. That's the only thing that caught my eye.
Any other discussion of financial statements? Okay, we have a motion in a second, we have discussion, so all in favor of approving the financial statements of September 30th, say aye. All opposed, motion passes. Moving on to the audit, I can go skip to checks. The second for the board to look over those, catches their eye.
So there was a bunch of stuff from Xylem, and you mentioned in your report that you haven't gotten to yet. This is different.
Yeah, this was for the end of last month.
Okay,
So you won't see what I mentioned in my report. So
there was maintenance and repair parts for UV, 8,450. There was a level transducer, 6,351. Are we spending a lot of money with them? We are.
Well, the Xylem, the one that is UV,
Yeah,
we're spending an exceptional lot of money this year on trying to get our UV back up and running. Every tech they send us, which I'll go through, but I'll just give you real quick, seems to not be filling the contract, $8,000 a year contract. So we've been in meetings, Brian and I have been in video meetings with them. We were on the phone with them again today. So I had to overnight stuff as I
Right.
got my just report.
Yeah.
So the level transducer, that's to replace one of the basins, and then we have a spare. So that's why you see a higher cost for it.
What is transducer?
It reads the level of the water in the basin.
Okay.
and the maintenance and repair for UV. So we did that last month and then we did it again this month.
So we ordered in parts
Um,
that they gave us a list of parts to get from the previous techs. Well, we didn't use hardly any of those. And what was wrong, we had to order in to get them here overnight when the tech was here. And so,
You'll tell us more.
yeah, I'll get it.
Any other discussion? I don't think that's a board action, but. Any further questions or discussion? We'll move on to the district report.
And the treatment plant's running well within its permit limits. Bayside survey, they're doing the, pulling the records up and down right now, and doing that background check before they come out and do the physical survey. They're estimating it'll be mid-December before they actually will need to hit their property down there to complete the surveys, to assure that our sewer line is in the approved easement. If not, then we're gonna have to work with the property owners to move the easement over. The draft IGA, legal counsel has not heard back from the water district.
That was more than looking around.
So
They ignore you?
nobody's heard back. We haven't heard, they haven't called the office, they haven't come up, and they haven't spoke to our legal counsel.
How long has that been? Couple months?
Going, yeah, easily.
At least.
Yeah, it's been probably close to a month since they probably received the IGA draft.
It was mentioned at the last meeting, so it's been at least a month.
Yeah. So if we haven't heard by next month, what's our next move?
Well, I guess I'll have to, on the board's direction, direct the attorney to do a follow-up letter demanding a response. I mean, I don't know, what do you think the next?
Well, when are you gonna have to use the water?
We're okay, right, unless we have an emergency.
Okay.
We don't have anything scheduled for this winter to use it, so it's not imperative that we get it done, this month or next month.
What's our leverage?
What's our leverage? Well,
I mean, we can threaten not to pay bills because we don't have an agreement, but then that means we don't get water, so.
so I guess we do no work out there on maintenance of the Netarts sewer system until we get I get something signed by them, either by email or something, some agreement. When we request to use it, that we have something in writing this time of what the fees are going to be to use the hydrant.
Okay, I like that. We'll have to talk with the attorney, but, I wanted some leverage. So you're gonna force us to, not do maintenance on your septic system, and, we're making this public. So,
Yeah, so that's our only alternative, is to call them each and every time we have to go out there in the exception of an
That's right.
emergency.
He's wondering.
But the IGA covers all that. So there is no in the middle of the night having to call them and get pre-approval or an agreement before we go out. Then we're at the district, sewer districts, then at mercy of whatever they want to charge the next day after we use it. They didn't treat us bad on the last one. I mean, it wasn't that much money. But the policy that they sent, the copy of it, they could charge us $50 every time we open and close a hydrant. And if we have to move throughout Netarts to 3 or 4 different hydrants and have to summon them, because we're not allowed to do it now, open and close the hydrants, they have to dispatch one of their people. Like, you can't get a hold of one of their employees. What do you do in an emergency? Come get water from Oceanside and talk to them?
Have you had just off the cuff conversation with the people that are in the field? In Netarts?
They're not real talkative with us about this stuff. I'm sure they've been told to not make any agreements.
Have you? Anything on the street?
No.
I don't know why there's a reason for the silence. At least if they got the IGA draft, they could have called, got clarification from me, what we were after. I mean, it's nothing, this isn't unusual to have intergovernmental agreement.
They're avoiding something that they're either under with or feel pushed on.
This is,
There's no explanation.
this is not a go to war with the water district. This is just, we need to know what we're gonna spend before we go out and do something. I mean, we
Well,
get,
it also helps out the budget.
yeah,
And all of your other customers know what they're gonna be charged.
Hopefully they'll get back to us.
well, public budgeting, and as you'll see in the audit report, I got a hit for one of them not getting 3. I got 2 estimates, but not 3. But what we do is pretty specialized. You may not get 3. The auditor explained to me that it doesn't matter. So I did get hit on that, the audit report this year. So they have a form I should fill out, but this could be really messy with something as simple as just needing water to jet clean and repair a sewer line. It's not like we were planning a project and going out to bid or something like that.
Okay, well, I'd say. About next month, and we have other conversations with council. I can think of a number of things that are basically go nuclear. We can go at their insurance company. We can,
I've been debating just picking up the phone and calling the manager
Right.
I
and just,
thought you had already done that.
well, but they have a new one. They have a new one. So I spoke with Dave, but Dave's no longer the manager now. They have a new guy that's all he is the manager. And I did call and leave a message for him to call back, and he's never returned my phone.
Okay, well, I mean, officially, since we've gone to the lawyers, they should, we're not supposed to talk to, they're not supposed to talk to us since we've contacted the lawyer, but no one's gonna push that. I would have talking to you, right? See what you get. Explain the situation. Is he aware of the history? Was he there before and just moved up into the position? Or was he
No,
now-
they hired him. It's hard to tell him. I sat in here with him and Aaron, and he didn't even I didn't know who he was. He never introduced him.
What was he, why was he here?
We were signing the easements when the county did the road vacation. And that one property then got where our sewer line is and the power pole and all that. And so obviously what the water has utility through there as well. He sat right there where Simeon sat, and we signed the easements, but he never, I thought he was with them. I thought he was from the landowners, is what I assumed as well.
Didn't call, sit down. We were puzzled. We're trying to figure this out.
Yep.
What would you do out?
Worst he can do is not call me back again.
Okay.
All right. Ocean Highlands pump station generator, we do have the resolution for the board to turn it over, to donate it to the Netarts-Oceanside Fire District. Now, in the resolution, the attorney did put down that it's to be used in Oceanside or Netarts. It's what the board is directing. Otherwise, the fire department can't take it and then go resell it.
Exactly.
Go use it somewhere else. So does the board want to follow that?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have that, that's done. Treatment plants, everyone is running well. The districts, this goes into the Wetico, UV. We have a little $8,000 a year contract with them for maintenance. They send out somebody twice a year. And that's to keep our system maintained, up and running 100%. It hasn't been for a year. And every time one of their techs would come, it almost would run worse after they left than before they showed up. So Brian and I, back in July, had a video conference meeting with Wetico, with two representative Wetico that's in charge of the item, but they're in charge of the Wetico. And one of them was the maintenance supervisor, the manager, and he kept his word. We got him for a week, finally this week or last week. It was a day of travel, 3 days, 3 8-hour days on site, and then Friday was another day of travel for the tech. We got him for the full 3 days, but they couldn't get all repairs done and what was called an audit. So the whole system be audited, so we would have a report of its condition. The tech spent the first, I think, day and a half repairing what the last tech did. So we agreed to pay for 1 day, and then they would cover the other 2. I think it went so badly on their side, we still haven't heard back. And we called, Brian and I got Jenny on the phone finally today, who's the scheduler, and said, we need to speak with your boss, okay? And I want to know where we're at with this, because we still have lamps that are failing again, once he got them all up and running in both banks. And we're not going to touch them. These are brand new lamps that are in. We had to overnight parts that we found out we needed after the tech was here. So we spent $28,000, $2,000 of that was 2 different orders of overnight shipping. And that wasn't all of it, but $2,000 of that 28 shipping. And made that very clear to her today that we need resolution to this because they are not meeting the contract.
So they acknowledged that the last tech did something wrong.
More than one tech, but they're not acknowledging anything yet. They're still kind of what I got from the conversation, that they're grouping up trying to figure out what to do. Because the tech's report, which they haven't shared yet with me, he told us here, all the operators verbally, that all the mistakes that the previous techs have made. Plus, he reported that to his supervisor. So, because they were going to pull him out of here Thursday at noon, and I threw a fit, called everybody under Xylem I could find, including everybody over their head, and he wound up staying there for 4 hours.
Where are they located?
Wetico. Well, they have an office over in Portland area, the Xylem, but their techs come in from Canada, from back east, from Oklahoma. This one just came in, I think you guys said from Oklahoma. So,
Wetico is based out of North Carolina.
yeah.
So, but yeah, they come from all over the
Yeah.
place.
So anyway, I contacted the local Xylem office. Dave helped me get through to somebody up higher in the in the chain there. That triggered some responses, but I need that report. I need to speak with that manager again to find out where we're at.
That's the audit report.
He didn't do the audit. There's an actual form that you fill out, it's an audit, it's a checklist. They call it an audit, but it's a checklist of your entire system. He didn't even have time to fill that
Not
out.
get that far. Okay.
Now, it's gonna require another trip here. But I wanna work that out. Because what their techs have been doing is not showing up for the agreed 8 hours. So if you read the contract we signed, we get 1 day, 8 hours. Or I don't know what it is, $2,300 a day or something like that. We can add additional days, but we can't even get them to stay here for 8 hours. Because the techs are in charge of, I guess they can change their flights. So they get out of here sometimes hours early, and then the system's working, then before they clear the driveway, we've lost half the lamps. And what's critical about this, so you know, our NPDS permit requires disinfection.
Right.
If we can't get transmittance, if we can't get dosing from that, we can't meet the fecal disinfection and enterococci. And it can shoot up all of a sudden.
So when this guy left, it was running 100%.
This guy, this time, when it left, it was all running 100%.
But it's not anymore.
You know, by the next day, it started dropping lamps again. Now, mod 3 on bank A was the only one he didn't get to, and that one lost a lamp. That one went dark. It was the one that he completely rebuilt, as far as I'm gonna call it rebuilt, was bank B. It was up 100%, working perfectly. Now it's dropping. It's got 4 lamps out. It's got 2 critical lamps out. That's what the sensor reads for intensity to brighten them up, or whatever's required to get your disinfection rate.
You see the lamps are out, are they just going off, or are they like a light bulb? It's like breaking.
It's just like if you had one of these lamps up here out in the ceiling, the other one worked. Well, right now, we had one for a couple days blinking on and off, on and off. Now it's just on.
And it's like, they're expensive.
These lamps, or those lamps down there, yeah, they're really
We
expensive.
bought a bunch of them when they were hugely
Yeah,
expensive.
yeah.
They're gonna be, is there gonna be a reckoning here?
Well, they're all reset, so there is a 3-year warranty on them, plus you get X amount of hours. So if you get so many hours, you get like a credit, or they will, it's kind of like a tire on a car,
But is
but
that-
insurance will
Is
not
that
pay for
warranty
wear.
from, who's, that's a light bulb warranty, but are we buying them from? Wedico? Is that
Yes,
Wedico's
these are
warranty?
Wedico branded. Yes, these are Wedico parts, Wedico brand.
Third party saying, it's not our fault.
No,
They're burning out.
They filament glows or what?
Well, they're not really a filament. They have mercury in them. And they can still light up like they're working, but if they get what they call a splatter or a ring, you guys have probably seen fluorescent bulbs that get that black ring when they blow out. That's similar to what you would see down there, but it's the other components. Because remember, these are submerged in water. So you have O-rings and seals, and any kind of water dampness gets in there, it can short them out. Okay, then on the outside of the lamps, they have a quartz sleeve. And then they have wipers to keep the algae, because they're basically grow lights. And they have wipers. There's several moving parts in there as well. So
So.
We
those
keep
lamps are
those.
Still in warranty. So,
these, yeah, so in bank A, there's 72 lamps for the system, 36 per bank. He changed out 35 just in bank B. And a lot of those are still on, but he said that they didn't pass the test, you know, so they had to be changed. So those were all changed out. So 35 out of 36 were changed, and now we have 4 of them are out again. They didn't even stay on for 72 hours.
Now, do you know of any other systems that are using this type of setup?
So are you asking me for this brand? There's 2 different ones. There's the
No, I-
Wedico that we use, then there's a system called Trojan.
I would just be curious if it's just us,
oh, they're the customers for these people.
Oh, having the failures?
or is it, the way we're set up here? It's
Well,
salt in the air. I mean,
Cannon Beach uses the Wedico system. We can call them and see how they're doing with their parts. There's a couple other ones, down along I-5, a couple other wastewater treatment plants we know of that run the Wedico.
let's call them and see what,
Okay.
if there's any significant issue that they're dealing with.
One thing that we're seeing is a combination of errors by a technician. And those technicians, when they make an error, can start a domino effect with things starting to fail. So did this cause this lamp to go out? You following me? So
Yeah,
this is where it's gonna get tough with Wedeco, is this could get real expensive for them. If they find out, if we finally determine that it was their techs that caused most of the problems.
who originally put that together?
Wedeco. Emery and Son, when they built the plant,
Right.
they poured the concrete channels. But Wedeco came and installed all the equipment, and they're the ones that actually got it up and running.
Okay.
Can we document the conversations you've had with the techs where they talked about other techs being involved? Need to jot down notes, dates.
So
Just in
each,
case a year from now or 2 years from now, we have litigation. over-
Yeah, we can all do it.
so each one of the operators in their logbook should have filled out the interaction they had with Tech Whites.
Okay, so it's documented.
Yes.
Okay, I just looking ahead.
Plus
He
the
said,
tech,
she said.
yeah,
Right.
I think Wedeco is aware of what this tech wrote in his report about everything he found wrong, because
Which we don't have a copy of.
which we don't have a copy of, but she kind of admitted it today that they're still meeting, trying to figure out what to do.
Okay,
So
so
they-
they get a report from me next time.
Yeah.
Not to give you more time on this.
Yeah.
We're not gonna get an answer.
Is there a possibility that they'll come back and say, this unit is at the end of its life expectancy and we need to do?
There'll be no chance of that.
Okay.
They're still producing this unit.
Okay.
Now, there might be PLCs in it that are probably outdated, which I believe there's one anyway that's outdated.
Uh-huh.
But there'll be parts and pieces, but not
Okay.
the entire. So no, you're not gonna have that.
Fishing for the worst case. then.
No, you're not gonna have to spend $1 million on a new unit.
Okay, we will look forward to your progress report next time.
So it is live and going right now. We worked on it today. We're supposed to have a phone call tomorrow. Well.
Oh, okay,
we'll know how it
good.
is. Yeah. So Lower Avalon Pump Station pre-design, was submitted to DEQ in less than 2 weeks. We got a response back and an approval. So now they can go into design. That's gonna require a final design. It'll come to the board to look at. I've already, have met with the engineers for placement for everything on the lots down there, all the equipment. It'll be overhead power, so we won't have to make extra room to put vaults, electrical vaults in. It'll be, once the board approves it, it'll go to the county planning. There'll have to be a lux done on it. And then we're gonna have to start the acquiring of the easements, more easements up through there. So by then, I think what I'm gonna do is have the engineer come to one of our board meetings, which they do on a construction, so the board can ask them direct questions, but there might be, if we run into any easement, acquired easement issues, we'll have options to move the line one side or the other. But by then, the engineer will know what the options will be. So actually, that was pretty quick. I've never seen DEQ turn something that fast back around.
I was impressed on it.
I almost thought he didn't even review it. NCC controls, the HVAC unit has been shipped. They don't have possession of it. The manufacturer told them that they'll get it when they get it, and that's kind of how it's gone.
Do you know where it's shipped from?
He said the Midwest. He didn't say what state. So they haven't physically received it, but they do have all the shipping information.
Pony
The
Express.
next he will do is send me a schedule. So we're looking at December. I'll just be here. He'll say, I don't have it, but it'll probably be December time to get everything. So we've been having issues. Leanne's been having issues with her computer for all but all the time she's been here. And we've already wrapped up almost $400 in trying to repair it, and it's not working. And I finally told our IT company, that's it, just order another computer. Because we're gonna spend more on that computer trying to get it fixed. Because he's gonna have to completely dump it and change hardware and start over. At that point, her workstation will be down. He's asked me, well, can she take some vacation time off or whatever? And I'm thinking, no, just get me another computer, get it set up. We'll take the old one, we'll get it fixed, and we'll set up I want to do for a long time, a spare workstation. So if any of them have a computer go down, they can just go to the next a spare workstation and work with that. So that's pretty much what I have.
Okay. Thank you.
Any questions from both?
Not much rainfall.
No, it's pretty dry. Flows are pretty low. We're teetering along, trying to keep 2 bases operational.
Well, maybe that'll change.
Now we'll move on to old business. Avalon Pump Station project. Is this still the report?
Yes.
Site update. I think the report on that is we can take this off the agenda. It's all installed, all there. It's all the billings are going to come directly to OPS as the owners of the Onyx box, and we will pay them. And I think NOSD is out of the loop, except for their quite generous involvement in terms of having it be here and helping keep it secure.
And I gave you the code that you guys can use.
So the code to the gate, Rob now has it. We'll get it to the ones, very few people that we're going to throw out enough so it's useful when we need it, but not so many that it's not safe.
And just so you know, the code that Jerry and they will be using, you put the code in, you drive it, the gate will open, you drive in, the gate will automatically close behind you. Do whatever you're going to do inside. That way you don't have to kind of watch the gate, make sure nobody comes in. And then when you pull up to the gate, it will automatically open if you don't need a code.
Okay, so that can go off the agenda. Workshop update, I think John is keeping that on, just to kind of keep it on the back burner, pushing for a little bit of progress where we can. I think there was some touch base, Simeon, was it that you thought might have some report on it? On the workshop, was there? Maybe not. I was wondering if there had ever been any further conversation with the school.
I think I was waiting for something from somewhere else before I talked to the school.
I have to go back and look at the minutes on that, but I don't, and nobody wants to let it drop because it's
Yeah.
important stuff. So I think we're just hold it over on the agenda, but there's no action items or specific report at this date. We know about the NOSD Water District draft. We have had the IGA, we have had no response, so no further word there. Email from Pam about STC stuff. I know you had some information about that in terms of.
But
Oh, okay. Maybe that was it. I was confused.
Simeon forwarded me an email. My issue with reduction, the request for reducing an SDC. If you reduce the system development charge, how are you going to get sewer to these? That's what it's used for. How are you going to build on these problems? There are no large developments left out here. There are going to be individuals, maybe somebody owns a couple lots or whatever. And that's what the system development charge is used for. Like we're building the Avalon. If you didn't have your SDC funds, you wouldn't be building that. So another 20, 25, 30 people can connect to the sewer district.
Sarah Amster's got a map with Netarts.
Yeah.
That shows
And of Oceanside,
Right.
of the open, and of Oceanside, of all, that shows all the open lots.
available, and
Yeah.
it's pretty big spaces in Netarts.
Yeah, but yes, I understand that. There's well over 600 plus lots, but they're not, unless somebody decides to take their property and divide it. What I'm talking about is larger owners, like what Bill Hughes did, Cougar Ridge, the Capes. you really don't have any of those that are large developments. They're usually owned by several different owners. Case in point, down at Lower Avalon, what is it, 10 or 12, 13 easements we'd have to get just to get that short sewer line through there. That's how many different property owners. And if you try to make them a developer, they have to pay for it all. Then try to do a local improvement district to try to recoup some of the funds.
Well, so what was clear to me from Pam's email, or at least is how I read it, was that she doesn't have support of her board. She was looking for evidence that we would be willing to do it so that she could take that to her board and say, look, NOSD will do this, so we should too. So I would suggest that we just say formally that we're not interested.
I say not interested in the interest of our rate payers at this time.
It's not a policy.
You don't have to explain it more.
Right.
It's not in our lane.
And I don't know how that
Because we-
comes from you.
We
or-
made the decision a while ago about working with care and we decided not to. That's when you guys were still here. Anyway,
That was before my time. I knew of it. So, the letter, her letters have been addressed to whom?
Me,
I, rather than start single board member to single board member communications or something like that, my recommendation would be to have Dan respond.
Okay.
And just basically 2 cents is not, the board has put to this, but it's not. Don't deem this to be in the interest of our ratepayers. Or you could say, policy, constraints, you can make up your own language, you can agree, defending if someone comes out.
I've had conversations.
You've got more experience than us and stuff, so.
I've got a lot of.
It is a final board decision, but I would
I think
definitely not,
I think the board just decided.
yeah, I would not agree with what that was the.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna say, I get the affordable housing thing. But the routes to try to go to lower the cost by having it subsidized by the utilities, I think it's actually self-defeating. For all the housing commission that some of us has and putting into any area, almost all of the money from the short-term rental operator fees, it's funding the housing commission and their grants that they're making. I'm fully in support of those, but I don't think that's our lane. I don't think that's part of our business to have our ratepayers subsidize, further subsidize that. That's my personal thought. Any other discussion on that? Move on to new business. We have a resolution 2507 regarding the low income assistance housing program. What's the status of this? Is final, right?
Yes, and Jim and John all. Okay.
The only thing that I wanted to add was a press release that would work for both our website and
Well,
if we're
the-
gonna notate it.
The motion does say that the resolution says that we are gonna let people know. So,
Right,
Publicize it.
Yeah.
For verbiage.
yeah,
Yes.
so I will,
okay.
So, this is the third we had addressing this. I think we're now ready to final approval unless there's objection. I'll entertain a motion for approving the resolution 2507, revising low income assistance program.
I move that we adopt resolution 2507, revising the low income assistance program.
Second,
I'll second that.
for the discussion. Very glad to have this done. It's a great thing. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right,
All opposed? Next order of business on new business is resolution 2508, declaration of surplus property and donation to Netarts-Oceanside Rural Fire Protection District. This is the generator that we're not legally allowed to sell. That's way for us to discuss it. As was discussed at the last meeting, as I recall. And so I don't know if there's going to be further discussion on this. I think I just need.
So this one came from our lawyer. It's very whereasy.
And we have to have this resolution so that we can do it legally with auditing too. He made that very clear.
Okay.
I always, when I do these things, I say recitals, I say, the board has done this, district has done this. The whereas is a complete mess. They just make it look highfalutin. Okay, have a motion to approve resolution number 2508.
So move.
Second.
All right, it's moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing no more discussion, I'm going to a vote on favor of adopting resolution 2508, declaration of surplus property and donation to Netarts-Oceanside Rural Fire Protection District. Say aye.
All right.
All opposed? Resolution is adopted. Moving on to correspondence, other than the correspondence from Pam Selinsky, Noel Zanny. We're not going to have an executive session.
I have one announcement I forgot to do earlier. Ray passed his grade level 1 test.
Yay. Good job. Good job.
Operator.
Fantastic.
All right.
Now we have
No
no
excuses.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
can we send something to John, some kind of a postcard or a card or something? Do we have anything like that?
In my knowing of John, that would just make him more comfortable. But, just letting you know, it's being fussed over.
The district has in the past, so it's sent flowers or sent, get well, something like that. So it's not out of norm. I just wanted you to know that.
Well, I'm not going to object to it. I just,
Well, that's fine.
I would wait until there's more knowledge of what actually has occurred, where he stands. Just my suggestion. I haven't watched him go through this week. I think he doesn't like with us. I know, trying to it. Maybe we'll force him to take flowers at some point.
That or we'll have to stock up the bowl in the 3 Musketeers bar.
Yeah. There you go. But you see, we'll send you some 3 Musketeers. There we go.
If
We'll talk about
he's
his.
still allowed to meet him.
Well,
I think that's why he's takes it from up here.
yeah, exactly. Okay. Any other business? Might as well go ahead and adjourn the meeting at 13 after 6. Yeah. In record time.
Very efficiently done.
Well, we didn't have a lot going on this time, so.
I got a question about a piece of property. It's outside the district.